إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. طيب يا إخوان, what was the hadith that we covered last week? Man yadhkur, who remembers? سعيد.
كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يحب تنعله وترجله.
وفي كان أساسا يعجب تيمنه في تنعله وترجله وطهره وفي شأن كل نام. The Prophet ﷺ used to love doing things in the right hand. What is تنعله?
Putting your shoes on.
Put on the shoes on the okay. You put on with the
Right.
you take off with the left. What is tarajjulihi? Tarajjul. No looking.
I wasn't in the beginning class.
Next, what does tarajjul mean? Remember?
Combing hair.
Combing the hair from the right ear. وَالطُّهُورِهِ making wudu. وَفِي الشَّأْنِ كُلِّهِ and everything else. So, hadith ibadah, hadith worships, is putting your shoes on the right, coming on the right, doing everything from the right hand. Is that ibadah? What would you say that?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yes.
Why? Why is that? No problem if you don't remember, inshallah. Why is that ibadah? Were you here last week? Okay, so you should remember then. Why is this ibadah, these three things we've mentioned? Doing right, doing everything on the right.
Is it to do with everything that's Yameen is more noble than
Yeah.
Tashrif?
Yeah, tashrif is something. Do you know what?
Is
Go on.
this is Sunnah?
Yeah. كان يعجبه يحبه.
Istimrar.
Yes, he used to love. So when Prophet loves something, it's ibadah. And hadith mentioned that he loves doing these things on the right. So this, if you do it for the sake of Allah, for the sunnah of the Prophet it's ibadah. Okay? It's ibadah. طيب, we spoke about hadith that talks about wiping your limbs. What's the ruling of wiping more than restricted area up to here and up to here? Ibn Umar used to do, Abu Hurairah used to do it. Can you do this?
No.
Eh? Okay, go give me an answer, inshallah.
Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he used to wash more of his body because from his ijtihad they believe that if he washed it up to his arm that those parts will be glowing, but other scholars said that you can only do what the sunnah says. You can't go more than the sunnah allows.
Okay, that's good, alhamdulillah, that's good. So, ijtihad of Abu radiallahu anhu to wash more than what is prescribed, doing up to here. This, Ibn Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he made ijtihad that the more you do it, the more your body will be glowing Yawm al-Qiyamah. That's ijtihad. But he took a hadith. Do you know the hadith? He used as the evidence. تبلغ هلية the your ornament and jewelries will reach the believers as much as you make wudu. But the ornament you wear in Jannah is on the neck, not here. Okay? So the ulama says that it doesn't make you wudu or anything, but sunnah is stick to what the legislation says, that you wash where the hadith says. To do more than that, it's not from the sunnah. So you should avoid that. How would Prophet ﷺ will know his ummah yawm al-qiyamah? Muslim. How would Prophet know us yawm al-qiyamah? What are the things he will know for?
How the believers, the limbs where they made wudu would start to glow.
MashaAllah. So the Prophet will know us Yawm al-Qiyamah through the wudu, The glowing of the limbs when we made wudu. He will know us through that glowing. He will be glowing on the Day of Judgment. That's how He's going to recognize all of us, inshallah. طيب نبدأ إن شاء الله. Hadith al-Hadi Ashar. Hadith number 11 from Umdatul Ahkaam. Who is the author of Umdatul Ahkaam? He's from Maqdas, yes. But what's he? Abdul Ghani al-Maqdisi. I think he's the cousin of Ibn Qudama. طيب عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان إذا دخل الخلاء قال اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الخبث والخبائث رواه بخاري ومسلم. طيب حديث narrated by Anas رضي الله عنه. طيب Anas is one of the companions رضي الله عنه. He's a خادم النبي. He's a server. He used to serve Prophet. Khidmah he used to do for 10 years. And Sulaym radiallahu anha was the mother of Anas, and she came to Prophet with Anas, and he gave Anas to Rasulullah and said, Ya Rasulullah, this is my son Anas, I want him to serve you, do khidmah to you. Okay? So Prophet accepted it. And Prophet said, Allahumma akthir waladahu malahu wa adkhul jannah. And Prophet made dua for him. Prophet said that, oh Allah, increase his wealth and his children and enter him to Jannah. Okay? So, we'll see in other hadiths that we'll find out that Anas radiallahu anhu became one of the great alim. He fought in Battle of Badr, and he radiallahu anhu narrated so many hadiths, and and he had a long life. He had a long life. I think he lived over nearly 100 years, radiallahu anhu. Toward the end of his life, he could not fast. He became very old. So he used to give fidyah. So every day he will feed a miskin. So Anas radiallahu narrated a lot of hadiths. After Abu Hurairah was Anas, I think, Aisha, Ibn Umar. He was one of the narrators of the hadith. So he narrated the hadith, Anas radiallahu anhu, كَانَ إِذَا دَخَلَ الْخَلَاء. Okay, what is khala? Now, in the hadith of in the book of Fiqh, in the Fiqh book, that you will never find that it said Babul Hammam or Babul Mirhad, chapter on toilet or bathroom. It's nothing like that. You'll find chapter on Dukhulu Khala or Istitaba, entering Khala or Istitaba. We will explain those two words. Okay. Now, Khala is in English we say is two meanings to it. Makan khalin, empty space. Second, min khala, mean isolation, khalwa. Okay? The Arab, even Thai Prophet ﷺ, when they would relieve themselves, they will go out. This is the part of the custom. They will not do it in the house, very rarely because of the smell and things like that. They will go out and they will relieve themselves. Okay? And this is how they live. And this is what they did. And they will say, dakhala khala. They will say dakhala hammam. Khala meaning that he went to relieve himself. Okay? So when you relieve yourself, there are two things. It's empty space, nobody is there. Okay? You look for a place where there is empty. And secondly, isolation. You isolate yourself. And we'll narrate some of the hadith. So in the history, we'll find out that the tongue of the Arab, they use khala, not the hammam, and even this Arabic word. So khala is used to say that for someone to relieve himself. Number one, he's looking for empty place, and he isolates himself in that one place, so no one can see him. That's what khala is. And istitaba is another word they use for cleaning yourself. Istitaba is from the word tayyib, which means يعني رجل يطيب نفسه بعد الحاجة قضى الحاجة من السبيلين, that a person clean himself, okay, after he relieve himself from the front and the back using the stone or water, whatever. So istitaba is to purify yourself, clean yourself, make yourself tayyib, good, after najasa you had, to purify yourself. So khala wal istitaba. So sometimes we have in chapter Bab al-Dukhul Khala wa Istitaba. Sometimes we have Bab al-Dukhul Hajatul Qada al-Haja. Those names are used to represent how to adab of toilet and things like that. Now, we've mentioned hadith like Salman al-Farisi, radiallahu anhu, that a Jew came to him and said, your Prophet taught you everything, even how to relieve yourself. He said, yes, even that he taught us, how to clean ourselves. And cleaning ourselves is one of the most important part of our deen. Subhanallah. You know, that's why we have chapters like that. So, كَانَ إِذَا دَخَلَ الْخَلَاء. So the ulama explains this sentence, إِذَا دَخَلَ. What does it mean? It's either of the three things. To say this dua. Is it before entering, while you're entering, or after you've entered? Okay? So the ulama have spoke about this. And they said, it is before you enter the toilet, you say the dua. And the evidence they use like, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنِ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. If you read Quran, seek protection from Allah. So فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. You don't say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم before, while you're reading or after you read. Before you read, you say it. Okay? In the Quran, Allah says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا قُمْتُم مِنَ الصَّلَاةِ. Or do you believe if you stand for salah, فَاغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. Wash your face. You don't wash your face while you make your salah, after salah, before the salah, isn't it? So this dua we're going about to cover, inshallah. You have to say before you enter the toilet. طيب. So Sheikh says that what if we are outside the toilet, somewhere outside in the park, and we want to go relieve ourselves? It's not a cubit. So what do we say? So his most authentic opinion is that some of them said when you're going, when you're standing, the most authentic opinion is that when you sit down, before you relieve yourself, you should make this dua. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubth al-khaba'ith. When you sit down. We'll talk about can you urinate while you're standing up, inshallah. So do you understand what khala and what istitaba is? Okay. Now, you say this dua before you enter or before you relieve yourself. He says, Allahumma inni. Okay, let's before that. Now, I want to go into something else now. Some of the adab of relieving ourselves when we outside, not inside the house, outside the house. Okay? And there's so many hadith that even teaches that we might not face this in our life. Maybe we're living in London and things like that. We use the toilet here in the house. But when we outside camping or if you go, you'll face this. How do we relieve ourselves? First of all, one of the hadiths, the Prophet said, اتقوا لعنين. Okay, اتقوا لعنين. فقالوا ما هما اللعنان يا رسول الله؟ قال الذي يتخلى من طريق الناس وفي ظلهم. In Muslim, the Prophet said, fear two cursed places. And this, what are the two cursed places, Ya Rasulullah? He said, those people who urinate on the path of the human being and where they sit down for shade. Okay? Now, to urinate in a path where people use for walking and coming in and out is haram. Because it is harm. You're putting. You should remove it. And to urinate in a place where they have a shade, back home you see people sitting under the tree, where they sit down and they talk, the place are utilized by the people. For you to urinate there or to relieve yourself, it is haram. What does curse here mean? The people are going to curse you. Okay? They'll curse you for using this place for your relieving. This is one of the adab. We do not do that. We do not urinate in an open space or on a path where people walk. That's one. And the adab of urinating outside is that we hide ourselves. We go far away, hide, and then we relieve ourselves. Hadith Mughira bin Shu'bah radiallahu anhu, that he said that I was with Prophet ﷺ in a safar, in a journey. So he wanted to relieve himself. فانطلق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم توارى عني فقضى الحاجة. Okay, Hadith said that Prophet wanted to relieve himself. He went outside far away. He hid away from me. And then he relieved himself. So he hid away, or behind the bush or behind the rock, whatever. Okay, so that's one of the adab as well. We have to go behind something where no one can see us. another hadith, Jabir radiallahu anhu, Sahih Shaykh al-Albani, Sunan Abi Dawud, إذا أراد البراز انطلق حتى يرى أحد. That whoever wants to go baraz is also min khala, a place that you use for relieving yourself. It could be behind the bush or behind the rock, whatever. The Arab use this word for relieving themselves. It's not specifically cubic toilet. Anywhere you relieve yourself, called baraz or khala. So in the hadith Jabir, the Prophet would hide himself, no one will recognize him. Okay, that's the way, that's the adab of relieving ourselves. That's outside. We have a hadith of Qatada who narrates from Abdullah bin Sarjis radiallahu anhu. The Prophet says that Nahana Rasulullah sallam an yatakhalla fi thaqb wa shaq. The Prophet forbade us to urinate in a thaqb. Thaqb is a hole. Or shaq is a crack place. And he forbade us. So people asked him, why is it forbidden to urinate in a hole or crack place? He said that because this is a masakinul jinn. That's where jinn resides. The jinn resides in the hole. So for example, if you were to go out and urinate in a place where there's a hole, jinn might catch you. How to narrate a story of one of the great companions. And it happened to him. And this companion, I'm going to narrate, he had a mysterious death. Very mysterious death. Subhanallah. And his name is Sa'ad bin Ubadah. Sa'ad bin Ubadah. So Sa'ad bin Ubadah is from Khazraj, Ansar. Now Ansar are made of two tribes, Khazraj and Aus. Now the leader of Aus was Sa'ad bin Mu'adh. Sa'ad bin Mu'adh, who died before Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Sa'ad bin Ubadah was the leader of the Khazraj. So when Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam left Mecca, he went to Medina, and Sa'ad was the leader of the Ansar. So when Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away, the Ansar said, okay, khalas, Prophet passed away, alayhi salam. Next Khalifa is Sa'ad bin Ubadah. No doubt, he's the only Amir. So he's going to be the first Khalifa. So the people found out they were to give allegiance to Sa'ad. And they went to Abu Bakr, Umar. They're from Mecca. And he said, you better come here because people are giving bay'ah to Sa'ad bin Ubadah. So they came and said, what is going on? He said, we're giving bay'ah to Sa'ad bin Ubadah. Prophet is gone, khalas, he's the next Amir. There's no ifs and buts. He said, so Umar became very vexed. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was the best person to speak, and he said, let me speak to them. And he spoke to them and said, look, I know Prophet praised Ansar, so Allah praised them as well. But Prophet is from Quraysh. We are from Quraysh, and Amir has to be from Quraysh. So everyone gave bay'ah to Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, and he became the Khalifatul Mu'mineen. Everyone gave bay'ah except Sa'ad bin Ubadah. So Sa'ad bin Ubadah didn't give bay'ah to Abu Bakr, nor to Umar. Umar wanted him to give him bay'ah, and Sa'ad said, no, I won't. He was really upset. So we can't, because Abu Bakr, Umar is there. How can you take this Khalifa? So Umar said, no problem, just live your life. Just leave, if you don't want to give me bay'ah, Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu. So the ulama says that, like Ibn Abdul Barr, others, that he had a life of isolation. He left everything. He never participated in any campaign. He left. So one day he went outskirts of Medina to urinate. That's where he's come now. To urinate. And Ibn Hajar radiallahu anhu, they said that the adab of the Arab, the female will urinate sitting down, man will urinate standing up. That's the adab. And you can do it, nothing wrong with that, we'll bring evidences. So he was urinating, and what happened? Suddenly he fell down and he died. So Ibn Abdul Barr rahimahullah from Andalus, he had a book of the life of the companion. He mentions that his body became green. And Muhammad bin Sirin, one of the tabi'i, said he died because of jinn. Jinn killed him. Then they gave him the name Qatilul Jinn, the one who's killed by jinn. So that's what Muhammad bin Sirin said, rahimahullah. So what happened? The people said, We don't know how he died. We just first saw him on the floor dead. Okay, and we heard a voice from the valley, from Wadi, that and he said that نحن قتلنا سيد الخزرج سعد بن عبادة وقد رمينا بسحم ولم نخطف آدَ. They said that we have killed the leader of Khazraj, Sa'ad bin Ubadah. We threw 2 arrows, we never missed his heart. But there was no arrow. There was no arrow. Subhanallah. So what happened is that this is the mysterious death that Sa'ad bin Ubadah had. So the ulama, when they talk about this hadith, to unite in the hole and crack, shaq, they bring this hadith. Because Salaf said he killed by jinn. So if you go into, and Qatada, one of the imam, who was the student of Anas bin Malik, some say he never heard from Anas, but Ali bin Madini, Abu Hatim al-Razi, they say he did hear from Anas. So Anas stood Qatada, so he's a mufassir, and he said that the hole we are not allowed to urinate because this is where the jinn resides. This is the place for jinns to live. So they say that maybe he relieved himself, Sa'ad bin Ubadah radiallahu anhu, and jinn killed him. Okay, so that's why we should avoid the holes, crack, things like that. That's why when we, if you're going to go urinate outside behind a bush or behind a rock, there's nothing you can do. That's why when you sit down, you make the dua, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi wal-khaba'ith. Because hadith says that the jinns are 3 types. Okay, hadith says jinns are 3 types. Imam Tahawi mentions that one of the jinns that flies around on hawa. Second type of jinn, that is, they're changing to snake and dogs. They change it to different forms. Another type of jinn is that they move around. So imagine if you're urinating in a hole, there could be a jinn there. There could be anything. Could be a snake in there, because jinn can change into form of a snake. So Sa'ad bin Ubadah radiallahu anhu was apparently, according to some of the Salaf, he was killed by jinn. So we should avoid urinating in places like that. And jinn, they do reside not in a hole, but they also reside behind a bush and rocks as well. So one of the adab is that we avoid these things. We hide ourselves behind a bush or rock or something like that. If you fall far away, if you're going to urinate, relieve yourself outside, inshallah. Now, here it says, so this is the adab outside the house. Inside the house, when we enter the toilet, okay, as we all normally do that, we enter with the left, we come out with the right. Why left? Because anything that we're going to do, something not khair, something bad, then we should do with the left, or going with the left. Okay? So toilet is something that's impure place. We go with the left, inshallah. And we say the dua, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi wal-khaba'ith, and then we go into the toilet. طيب, let's break it down more, inshallah. So let's come inside now. We want to relieve ourselves in a toilet. We make this dua. So what Allahumma? The word Allahumma, the ulama says, like Al-Baghawi and others, it means Ya Allah. It's a dua. Ya Allah. So what they say, the word is Allah. Okay? Ya Allah. So what happened? Ya Allah, they deleted the Ya, and after Ha they added double mim. Allahumma, which means Ya Allah. It's a dua you're making. Oh Allah, I seek your protection. Inni a'udhu bika. So isti'adha is one of the dua you are making. Why is not Allahumma inni ad'u ilayk? I make dua to you from this shayateen. Now a'udhu. Because the word a'udhu, dua is general. We have 3 things in dua which is specific. Isti'adha, isti'ana, and istighatha. Let me just quickly go over them, inshallah. So isti'ana is talabul awn. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You alone we worship, you alone ask for help. The ulama say isti'ana is talabul awn fil khair. Okay? You seek Allah's protection in good things. Okay? So for example, you're seeking protection from Allah Azza wa Jal, asking Allah's aid and support in good things like guidance. memorizing the Quran, okay, or husnul khatima, good ending, entering Jannah. These are good things you're asking Allah to, okay. So this is called isti'ana. Istighatha is talabul ghawth min ash-shar, seeking Allah's aid and support from evil, shar, okay. But istighatha is a bit more, slightly different, is shar, but a time of shiddah, time of hardness, fear, istighatha. And the ayah, when Prophet ﷺ, when he raised his hand in the Battle of Badr, and how many Muslims were there? 300. And Kuffar were 3,000. Okay, over 1,000, yeah. And it was state of fear. Prophet ﷺ, he made dua, and Allah responded to his dua. إِسْتَسْتَغِيثُونَ رَبَّكُمْ فَاسْتَجَابَ لَكُمْ. Okay, at the time of Muhammad, when you make istighatha, فَاسْتَجَابَ, the fa here means straight away Allah accepted the dua. إِنِّي مُمِدُّكُمْ بِأَلْفٍ مِّنَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ مُرْدِفِينَ. And Allah responded to the dua by sending thousands of angels in rank. So this is not dua, it's istighatha. Dua is more general, but istighatha is specifically for this, okay, for that situation. So istighatha is seeking Allah's aid from evil, shar, okay. So for example, you in a plane now, I'm plane about to crash. It is, what is it, isti'adha or istighatha? Istighatha. Now you make istighatha to Allah straight away from this shar, from this evil is about to take place. So here, inni a'udhu bika, talab al-'awd. So you're seeking protection from Allah from shar, okay. قل أعوذ برب الناس قل أعوذ برب الفلق. أعوذ, I seek the protection from the Lord of the mankind, Lord of the daybreak. So أعوذ here means the shar. So you're asking Allah to protect you from this shar. And isti'adha, a different type of istighatha, okay. There is istighatha which is not allowed except for Allah. There is istighatha which is allowed if human being able to aid you, support you, protect you, inshallah. So in Allahumma inni a'udhu bika, I'm seeking your aid, protection from Allah, from you, Allah, because He's the only one who can aid you, not no one else can. Minal khubuthi wal khaba'ith. There's two narrations, khubuth and khubth. Khubuth is plural of khabith, male jinn. Wal khaba'ith is plural of khabitha, female jinn. So basically you're asking Allah to protect you from the male and female jinn. And who can protect you except Allah? So this is isti'adha only billah azza wa jal. Okay? So because in the toilet you have jinns. Outside in the bush you have jinns as well. So you're seeking Allah's aid from the male and female jinn. Totally. Also the most authentic, most stronger narration says that khubthi with the sukoon on the ba. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika minal khubthi. Okay, which means you're seeking Allah's protection from male and female jinn plus all other evil, shayateen, everything. Okay, the khubth is more stronger, inshallah. We can use that as well. So here Shaykh Ibn Qudama, he says that al-khubuth bi dhamm al-kha wal-ba jam'ul khabith. So dhamma on the kha and ba, which is the plural of khabith. Wal-khaba'ith jam'ul khabitha, which is female jinn. So basically, you make isti'adha from Allah Azza wa Jal, to Allah Azza wa Jal, to protect you from male and female jinn. So this is the hadith, inshallah, we should practice, all of us, when we enter the toilet. That should be clear, inshallah. Let's go to the next hadith and we call it a day. عن أبي أيوب الأنصاري رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أتيتم الغائط فلا تستقبلوا القبلة بغائط ولا بول ولا تستدبرها ولكن شرقوا وغربوا. So here he says that if you come to relieve yourself, whether urine or feces, do not face the qibla with the feces, doing feces or urine, or do not show your back, but turn east or west. Now we're here now, inshallah, in this chapter we're going to discuss regarding the issue, can we face the Qibla when we relieve ourselves? Now, we have toilet in our house. Is it facing the Qibla or not facing the Qibla? So it's important because in the Quran Allah said, وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. Those who honor the symbol of Allah, it is a sign of taqwa of the heart. So Qibla is honor, is a symbol of Allah, symbol of the deen. So we have to, we shouldn't face the Qibla front or the back when we relieve ourselves. But let's see what the ulama have said about this. So when it comes to this issue, inshallah, the scholars have differed regarding this issue, this mas'ala. The first mas'ala is that when it comes to this, اختلف العلماء في الحكم لاستقبال القبلة واستدبارها في قضاء الحاجة. The scholars have differed regarding facing the Qibla when you're relieving yourself or showing your back. First opinion is that فذهب إلى التحريم مطلقا. That first opinion is that it's absolutely haram, based on the hadith of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari radiallahu anhu. Is one of the Prophet said that when you come to relieve yourself, فلا تستقبل القبلة بغاية ولا بول ولا تستدبرها. So here Prophet forbade, and they said this nahi, aslun nahi, yufid tahrim. The basic rule is that the basic rule of prohibition is haram. So it is haram for you to face the Qibla when you're relieving yourself. And this is the opinion of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, one of the great companions from the Ansar, from Khazraj, Mujahid, Ibrahim al-Nakhi, Sufyan al-Thawri, and so forth and so on, Ibn Hazm and others. So they say, and Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah Rahim ibn Qayyim, that you should not face the Qibla at all, nor show your back when you are relieving yourself. So based on this opinion, those brothers who have toilets such a way, if you break it, according to their opinion, though it's not allowed, it's haram. Because it doesn't talk about having inside the wall, open land or valley, nothing. It's total tahrim. So second opinion is that ذهب إلى جواز مطلق. Second opinion is that it is absolutely allowed. There's no haram in that. They use another hadith of Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, which we'll cover inshallah tomorrow, next week. That I'm just going to read the hadith. عن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنه قال رقيت يوما على بيت حفصة فرأيت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقضي الحاجة مستقبل الشام ومستدبر الكعبة. That Ibn Umar رضي الله عنه, he went on the roof of the house of Hafsa. One of just went up there, and he saw Prophet relieving himself. What did he saw? He said he's facing the Sham and his back is facing the Kaaba. So Prophet, he is forbidding it, but he's doing it here. Okay? So they use the hadith to say, khalas, it's allowed. Nothing wrong with that. Do it. So according to the who? Abdullah bin Zubayr, Urwa bin Zubayr radiallahu anhu, tabi'i. His brother Abdullah bin Zubayr was a sahabi. And Rabi'a, the teacher of Imam Malik, and Imam Dawood Zahiri, like Imam Ibn Hazm. Zahiri, he takes things literally. Those three great Imam, they said it is no problem for you to relieve facing the Qibla or your back or showing front, nothing wrong with that. This is allowed according to them. Syllabus, no problem. The second opinion, third opinion is that ذهب الأئمة مالك الشافعي وأحمد وإسحاق وهو مروي عن عبد الله بن عمر والشعبي إلى تفصيل في ذلك. Third opinion is that they explain this is detailed, depend. Okay, so they say that فيحرمون في الفضاء ويبيحون في البناء. So they said it is haram in Fasa. Fasa is empty space, open space, maybe desert. It is haram there. But if you do it inside a wall, like we have in a house, that's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. It's not haram. The fourth opinion is that it is another opinion. هناك قول الرابع لا يقل عن هذا قوة وهو قول بالكراهة لا تحريم قال صنعاني. So the fourth opinion is that it is not tahrim, it is kiraha. And why he says that? Because it is babul adab. You know, when we mentioned last week in the class that when Allah Azza wa Jal commands something, either it is Babul Ibadah, chapter of worship, or chapter of adab. So if something Allah commands us to do in Ibadah, becomes wajib. If something Allah forbids us, which is in Ibadah, it is haram. Now if something Allah's Messenger commands us, but it's based on adab, then it becomes mustahab. And if something Allah and the Messenger forbids us, they fall under adab, they become makruh. Like taking with your right, left, giving with your left, eating with your left, drinking with your left. These are all babul adab, chapter related to adab. So these are makruh, they say. It's usul fiqh. They use the qaida, principle like this. They say is that Imam San'ani, it is babul adab, ikram. We should honor the house of Allah. If you don't, it's going against the adab. But it's makruh if you do it. Because there's a hadith that says that إِذَا أَتَيْتُمُ الْبَرَاز فَكْرِمْ قِبْلَةَ اللَّهِ. That if you come to Baraz to relieve yourself, to honor the Qibla of Allah. Honor it. It's takrim, tashrif. So they say, San'ani says, Babul Adab, it is makruh. And this is the fourth opinion that the scholars have mentioned regarding relieving ourselves. So, without any doubt, my brothers and sisters, that where we stand, it is not haram. Because Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, he was riding his horse or camel, whatever. He came down and he relieved himself. And the companion that he had with him, he said, "Yeah, Ibn Umar, you're relieving like this, is this haram?" He said, "No, it's not haram as long as you have a barrier." So, it's Sunan Abu Dawud. So basically, inshallah, these are the four opinions regarding facing the Qibla. So this is the hadith of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari radiallahu anhu, which forbids it. Then Abu Ayyub al-Ansari radiallahu anhu said, قدمنا إلى شام فوجدنا مراحض قد بنيت نحو الكعبة فننحرف عنها ونستغفر الله. So he basically believes it's haram. He said, we went to Sham, and we found the toilet were built facing the Kaaba. So we used it, we used the toilet, but we turned our back, we turned slightly away. So if the toilet is facing straight Kaaba like this, they will slightly turn away and they will relieve themselves. And they will say, Nastaghfirullah, because he felt it's haram. So Allah forgive us for this. The ulama said this istighfar here means it's haram. He believed this is haram. So they had to use the toilet because there's no other way. Maybe that's what their situation in. So these are the khilaf between the scholars, inshallah, and we've basically understood now. As long as you're in the bina, in the house, nothing wrong with that. Okay? We'll continue the next hadith next week, inshallah, and some of the benefits we'll mention it. Jazakumullah khair. Any question, inshallah? Go on,
Barakallahu feek. Is the reason known why the two ahadith they contradict each other? That Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, that he said that to not face our back or face the front to the qibla, but at the same time Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam he did it himself. Is there a reason why they both contradict?
No, it's not contradiction. Okay. The brother asking the question, we have a hadith where Prophet forbade facing the qibla, front or the back, but then he did it himself. Imam Shawkani used this qaida, and Sheikh Al-Albani followed it, and Ahmed Shakir, Sheikh Mashru Hassan Salman followed it. That إذا تناقض الحديثان if the يقدم القول على فعل, that if two hadiths were to contradict, opposing, then take the statement over the action. So I'm going to give you another hadith, inshallah. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in a house, and Abu Bakr came, and hadith, he's showing his knee, isn't it? Or thigh, he was showing his thigh, sorry, fakhidayhi. He was showing his fakhid, his thigh, to Abu Bakr. Umar, he showed it to them. When Uthman came, he covered it. Okay, so the Aisha said, Ya Rasulullah, you showed it to your companion, but when Uthman came, he covered it. He said, why is that? He said, shouldn't I have a haya in front of someone when malaikah have a haya for him. So he covered it. So he showed his one, yeah? Another time he was on a horse, he showed his thigh, but he saw one of the companion, A'mash. He said, Ya A'mash, غطي فخذيك فإن فخذيك من عورة. That he said, Ya A'mash, cover your thigh because your thigh is your aura. So someone said, Subhanallah, Prophet showed you, but he's telling him not to. So the ulama said, when you have a hadith like this, Imam Shawkani said in Al-Awtar, that take the statement of Prophet over the action. Why the ulama says this? They say maybe it's khas for Rasulullah. So when he speaks for the ummah. Okay? So maybe showing thigh was an aura for Prophet ﷺ, but for rest of the ummah is aura. So they have to cover the thigh, inshallah, no doubt. Not the rukbah, not the ankle, the knee, is the thigh we're talking about. Certain action for the Prophet ﷺ, not for the ummah. For example, we have other actions like siyamul wisal, you fast for 3 days without breaking the fast. Prophet would do that. The Sahabas were doing it. And he found out, he said, why are you doing it? He said, Ya Rasulullah, you doing it, we want to do it. He said, it's for me, not for you. Don't do it, break your fast. So it was given to Prophet specifically that he will fast for 3 days, he will not break it. Okay, we don't do that. Khas for him. Like he had 9 wives, 11 wives, alhamdulillah, Rasulullah, we can have 11 wives, it's khas for him. So certain actions khas for him. So in this situation, we take the statement over the action. What does the statement says? You should not face the Qibla when you are living yourself. Okay? Maybe it's only khas for him. Allah knows best. But based on other hadith, says as long as you have a wall around it, then it's a barrier. So that should be allowed for you to do that. If you can break it, then break it. But if you can't, then because some of the ulama, because you're surrounded with 4 walls, it's okay, inshallah. It's not. But least we can say is makruh. If you follow the opinion, it's Babul Adab, least you can say is makruh. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. Next, any clarification? Go, akhi. Salam, akhi.
I was going to ask you, some people say obviously you can't mention the names of Allah in the toilet.
That's good. I was going to talk about it.
In an incident where you sneeze and to yourself you may say Alhamdulillah, would that be sinful upon you?
Okay, now that's a good question, mashallah. Yeah. In the toilet, can we talk? Okay, I forgot to mention this. The Shanqiti and other ulama said there is 2 situations. When you're in the toilet, you go in the toilet, say 2 of you go in the toilet, you're talking, it's not haram because you haven't done anything. Second situation is when you're relieving yourself. There's a hadith, Prophet said that the 2 men, they enter the toilet and they relieve themselves and they talk to each other except they will receive the maqt of Allah. Maqt is anger, but it's heavier than ghadab. And they use this hadith to say it's haram. But some of the ulama made this hadith da'if. Qattani, Imam al-Qattan, Sheikh al-Albani made it da'if, then he made it sahih li ghayri, and Imam Nawawi makes it hasan. So they, based on that hadith, they say it is haram to talk. But some of the ulama says that it is not haram, it is makruh. Okay? So if you are relieving yourself in the toilet and you're talking, shouldn't be talking unnecessarily, but if you talk, it is makruh. Imam Shawkani said, it is ijma, it is not haram. It is not haram. So there's any kalam, even in name of Allah or anything like that. Prophet will never do that. Prophet was in the toilet, relieving himself, a man gave him salam, he didn't say wa alaikum salam. Okay? And he shouldn't say alhamdulillah when you are in the toilet. Shouldn't say it. So, at least I know from the ulama it's makruh. None says haram. Those who says haram based on the hadith, but even the scholar differ on the authenticity of the hadith. So we should avoid it talking. Only time we can talk out of necessity, when we have to talk, daruriyah, then we talk. Otherwise we should avoid talking when we're relieving ourselves. Not when you enter the toilet and you're talking, but you haven't started yet. So that's not nothing to do with that. It's when you're relieving yourself and actually performing the toilet, then that's, at least you can say it's makruh. It's makruh, dislike. To say haram bi shadid.
Does that include having shower and stuff?
No, shower is different. Shower is different, yeah. It's only qada al-haja. Qada al-haja refers toilet, your toilet or first and the second, what yeah, any of those. But shower is different, yeah. Shower is not nothing with that shower. Is it okay, akhi? Yeah. نف خلاص جزاكم الله خير حياكم الله.